Interestingly enough, this actually has probably more to look at than the Sanity entrance that was released. Just due to the fact that Raw, since the last game, has had such a huge overhaul with its new stage, and the game also have a new lighting engine, so it's worth looking around at the reused arena to see all the differences. Gallows and Anderson look fantastic this year around. Obviously, this is their first year being included in the game as a main roster character. And last year they were rushed to DLC so that they could get into the game post WrestleMania. But it's very, very cool to see their entrance. It's very bare bones. They knock hands, they walk to the ring, and that's, to be honest, that's what they do on TV. So again, perfectly standard entrance that you cannot complain about, just due to the fact that it's accurate. So it's cool to look at the old venue, the reused model venue that they've used for the past couple of years in the new lighting engine. It's interesting to see that they're using, of course, the new Raw graphics, because Raw, of course, has had a brand split since then. It's good to see the new stage there, although I have noticed the stage has a few inaccuracies, but hey ho, it looks fantastic regardless. The lighting engine looks great. You can see over to the side that the fighting in the crowd is back this year. Fighting in the crowd is still a thing. They still have that weird designated area where you can fight your opponent, along with obviously the new ring LED screens and the LED ramp, and just everything looks great. I've always thought that these venues look a bit too tall, because when you look at Raw on TV, the venues don't nearly go as high as that. The overhead looks to be about the overhead lighting ring. It looks to be in the right place, but these venues just look dramatically larger in the game than they actually do in real life, and it creates this weird disconnect between what they're trying to do in the video game, which is to be, hey, we want to make it the most realistic simulation of wrestling ever, but our venues are absolutely massive and our stages and rings look tiny in comparison, and then we need to use more GPU and CPU power rendering this gigantic crowd, which we don't need to do if we just scaled down the venues like we did in NBA, because the NBA venues are perfect and they are to scale. But for some reason in WWE the venues are absolutely massive, and they end up just looking really, really strange as a result. That's probably more of a case of because they need to fit so many different stages into these venues, but it just looks so strange. But from this shot here, it definitely does look like an episode of Raw. If only it weren't for that top tier just being so huge, I think it would look a lot more realistic. As we do a really quick zoom in on the ring, you can see obviously the new LED posts look fantastic because they've got their accurate graphics on them, which is cool. So they have like the Raw sticker on the front, and then they've got the Superstars entrance graphics on the back, which is cool. The ring LED looks great. The ring skirt looks fantastic. That's fine. It's interesting to see that they have the new coloured ring sides, that weird grey white that they use for the ring side is now in the game, along with the cutout partition that they use for the timekeeper, and like where JoJo and the referee sit before matches and stuff. One of the things that I think is worth noting, I wonder if you can get into the crowd from this side because there's no curve. So I wonder if you can still go over to the crowd in that side and fight there. I also wonder if there's any new OMG moments set over there, maybe hitting the timekeeper, hitting the ref, or just breaking that barrier entirely. But with it being the square or the rectangle cutout, I wonder if those 8 OMG moments are just gone now. Well, not gone, because obviously there are 3 other curves to the ringside area, but it's a bit strange because on TV, usually it happens there. Obviously, just last week on Raw, we saw Braun throw a chair from that exact area, and it has the curve there. So it's a little bit strange. I'm a little bit befuddled to see that there's no curve there, considering in real life there is a curve. Just really quickly before I wrapped up, I just really quickly wanted to look at this shot here. It's literally just one frame over the previous shot that we were looking at for the wide angle for the venue. It's interesting to see that the venue So for their entrance, they use the strobe lights. The strobe lights, obviously, they lighten up the venue a lot more. So I figured I would include this just so you can at least see the more detail in the venue. Obviously, the upper tier. Actually, to be fair, the upper tier is not as large as I thought it was because of the darkness, but it still is for Raw. That is a very large venue that you normally wouldn't see. The lower tier would be smaller, and then the upper tier would be larger to kind of compensate for that. But overall, I mean, it looks fantastic. It's good to see the new graphics in there. The stage looks great. It's a shame that it's obviously compressed down because of IGN's video player. But the lighting looks great. Its graphics are accurate. It's good to see the new stage along with obviously some other benefits as well. The lighting looks good. I don't see a huge increase over crowd lighting than last year. I could obviously be wrong. But it's good to see that there is some sort of so when you look at someone from behind, usually the front of them is always highlighted because that's where the light is coming from. And you can see down at the bottom where at ringside area, you can't see the back side of the crowd because of all the shadows, but you can see the front side of the crowd because the light is hitting them on their front, which is very, very cool. Because of the compression, it's hard to see what's behind the stage. I can't tell. Usually what they do is put up a big curtain. On Raw, they put up a huge curtain behind the stage so you can't see anything behind it. And it's very strange that in WWE 2K they haven't done that. It would save them on processing power, and it would cut down their polygon count because they wouldn't have to render that backside of the venue at all. This is a little bit strange, but I suppose for create an arena, you would need that backside just in case someone wanted to make that side of the arena. But overall, I mean, it looks fantastic, so it'll be interesting to see more footage come out over the next coming weeks, and I hope we see more interesting stuff, like maybe Finn Balor, maybe. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm still very new to this, so any feedback is always appreciated. If you like what you saw, of course, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.